Hi, I'm Steve Broughton, the Senior Minister here at Ontario Christian Church, and this is your 3-minute encouragement. Have you ever been hanging out with somebody that you thought highly of, and then something came out of their mouth which made you begin to doubt, any other word that would proceed from their mouth here forward, and you thought to yourself, how is it that this individual who typically has such great thoughts would spew off something so crazy or off the mark, and they began to doubt their very character and nature, and you had to kind of reel it all in and kind of decide, do I trust them or not going forward? I think we live right now in a culture where this is probably being questioned many minutes out of the day, where we see something on social media or we hear something on the radio or see something on TV, and at one point we had valued that person's input, but suddenly we begin to question the very character and nature of the individual based upon a new thought that they just kind of blurt out, either out of anger or without thought. And as I was thinking about that this week, there's a specific scripture that Solomon shares in Proverbs 18. It says, "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion." Let me read it again. 18:2. "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion." I think it's really important right now, especially as believers, as followers of Jesus, that we have the facts lined up before we have a debate or an argument or a discussion with individuals, and that we keep our attitudes in check, that we make sure that the very thoughts that we have are truly from the Lord and honor God with our every intention that we have to share. We watch our words that we use and our vocabulary in a way that doesn't cast doubt upon the verbiage coming from us and the very thoughts that come from our mouths because of some slip-ups. So we need to be very cautious as we go throughout our work week and even within the family of being careful of what it is that comes from our mouth. The scriptures also say that what proceeds out of the mouth was actually born in the heart. And so it's okay to begin to cast some doubt on people when we hear things that don't line up with what we would have expected to come from their mouth, specifically speaking of truth. So Christian, be very cautious this week to think twice as much as you talk. To consider, is this truth that I'm about to share, or is it my opinion? Is it something that adds value to somebody's life and adds value to the current discussion, or is it just, I'm angry and I want to get this quote-unquote off of my chest? So back up just a little bit and consider yourself in that moment to consider if Jesus was standing there across from me, would this be the attitude that I'd come after him, or if it was a family member, somebody else, how would I describe or express myself to bring honor to God and also to bring the truth to light? So watch your words very cautiously. As a matter of fact, go back even further and consider your heart. What's the intention and motive of your heart before you open your mouth? Is it to build up and bring truth, or is it to tear down and bring destruction? So this week, I just wanted to encourage you, don't be like the fool, but instead be like the wise person that considers each thought all the way through before sharing it publicly. And make sure that our words hold truth and value, not just to spout off, because people begin to question the very nature of our character based upon the words that we use, the verbiage that we use. So be encouraged this week to share the good news of Christ, not just in our actions, which is really important, but from the wellspring of our heart comes the words from our mouth, and may they be life to other hearers. God bless, and can't wait to see you Sunday.